Ranking Member Menendez, it's my honor to join Senator Cassidy in introducing to this committee Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield, President Biden's nominee to represent our nation at the United Nations in New York. Our country faces an unprecedented series of crises and challenges both at home and abroad. A global pandemic and economic recession, a reckoning around inequality and injustice, unprecedented levels of displacement and violence around the world, and the existential threat of climate change. And in this moment, I believe our leadership, credibility, and values are at task and are at test around the world, and our relationships are strained. We need to ask ourselves who we want to be and what example we hope to set for the rest of the world. And as our face at the United Nations, the United States needs a leader who can advance not just our interests, but our values, restore our alliances, rebuild bridges, and develop relationships that allow us to manage disagreements, unpack complex challenges, and inspire a next generation of leaders. That's why I am so excited to have the honor of joining with Senator Cassidy in introducing Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield. She is no stranger to this committee, the diplomatic corps, or the U.S. national security community. Over the course of her 35 years of service to our nation under administrations both Republican and Democrat, she's earned this community's respect and admiration. So much so, she's famously known in places around the world by just 3 letters, LTG. She is joined today and has long been supported by her loving family, her husband Lafayette, her daughter Lindsay, and her son Lafayette II, known as Deuce, and we are grateful for their support for her career and her service. Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield represents both the promise and progress of America. Raised in the segregated Deep South, graduated from a segregated high school, one of just a few African-American women to attend and graduate from Louisiana State University, she would, in 1982, join the Foreign Service after teaching political science at Bucknell to become one of far too few black professional female diplomats in our Foreign Service. Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield has lived the ideals of our nation, even at a time when it was falling short of our founding ideals, and has spent her career blazing trails. She understands that true patriotism is constituted in pushing your country to be the best version of itself and striving for that more perfect union. She is the right person at the right time, not just because of her qualifications, her deep global experience, serving us in more than 6 countries around the world and as the DG of the State Department, but because of her personal style of diplomacy, called gumbo diplomacy by her, inspired by her native Louisiana, as a way to reach out and connect with others and break down barriers, to connect with people and solve problems. I saw firsthand in Liberia when we first met why she's been called the People's Ambassador. She's never met someone she can't turn into a friend. She is also battle-tested and tough as nails, having overseen our response as a nation to some of the most complex and grinding crises in the world. She brings a deep experience, a diverse perspective, and a unique and warm personality to the challenges of U.S. foreign policy at a time when we need new thinking. So, Ambassador Thomas-Greenfield represents, in my view, the very best of our nation, and I urge my colleagues to support her nomination and swift confirmation through the United States Senate. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.